Hey, hey, what's up? So, yeah, we're doing an impromptu show. Well, I'm doing an impromptu show. I'm not going to stay on long. I'm tired. I don't have a topic. I'll be honest. I have no topic at all except RIP Bell Hooks. One thing that's kind of interesting is a lot of people were writing me on Twitter and different places like, "Hey, Bell Hooks died. What do you think? You must need an alibi, like, I killed bell hooks," making jokes like that, that they think are in good fun. But it's interesting. I don't hate bell hooks. It's interesting that people just assume, like, I had some kind of really powerful enmity toward her. But I mean, it's hard for people to grasp this a lot. But not everyone you disagree with you have to hate. I didn't hate her. I didn't like what she a lot of her theories. I think she was worse in like the 80s, and she actually walked back a lot of problematic things that I didn't like. Like, for example, one of the things that she said in recent years, like, one of the big ironies is that the intersectional crowd kind of have been over her for a while. She hasn't been that hot in intersectional circles, if you notice. Like, for people who've been on Twitter or following like pop intersectionality for a while, y'all remember in like 2014, 2015, 16, stuff like that. I mean, it was like a cult. And she dissed Beyonce, and she also at one point said that black men don't have the power to have patriarchy, that you need power to have patriarchy, which I think was a contradiction to something she might have said earlier. Or if it wasn't, then at least her fans thought that she believed differently. But I mean, between those two moves, they kind of like left her alone. And I think Kimberly Crenshaw kind of took her place along with some other people. But the all encompassing cult of bell hooks, if you look at these people, if you're someone who's been on Twitter or followed them, they would name check her here and there, but they did not really go in for her like they used to for years. She has not been a hot uh, thing, and that's one of the reasons why, like, I don't have a strong dislike for her, because I think she did walk back a lot of stuff. I mean, someone might say she was still a net negative after all. I mean, maybe, but she never struck me as particularly like mean spirited or hypocritical or whatever. I mean, she never pandered to her followers like some people do. Like, for her to go against Beyonce and call her a capitalist terrorist and all that stuff, it would be way easier for her to just, you know, uh, pander and everything. But yeah, I mean, there's few people that I hate. Even the ones that I act kind of impassioned about. I don't even hate, like, people think I hate Jeremy or Harris. I don't hate Jeremy or Harris. I think, you know, I find some of the stuff he does infuriating. I think he could do better, but I don't even hate him. So yeah, it's just weird. People make jokes like, "Hey, where were you today? Bell Hooks died." Like, you're somebody who hates her that much, and I just think it's part of the culture we're in, where uh, disagreement is violence. Disagreement is hating people. But yeah, I mean, there's some people in the game, like, I could say I feel dislike about, even without knowing them personally. Like, they just seem like nasty people, but it's a lot fewer than you would think. A lot of people would be surprised. Yeah, man. So, um, of course, Kamala's shouting her out. Yeah, man. So, what was I gonna say? We are doing a. We have a lot of stuff coming, and this is more going to be about plugging than going into stuff, because I don't want to stay on too late. And if I start on any topic, y'all know how I am. I don't know how to act. I'll just start. Uh, to drop that heat, and I'll stay up. So I'm not gonna do that. I've been back in the gym and watching what I eat and all that stuff. So I actually have to be up in the morning before working and all that stuff. So I'm trying to get my sleep schedule. That pandemic sleep schedule was crazy, man. Everybody was up at all different times, and I'm trying to get back to being normal. Even though I think we're gonna go. What do you guys think, man? I think we're gonna go back to some type of lockdown again. I think people got a little too confident. All my friends and everything still making plans like crazy. The worst of it's over, but I'm not sure, man. I think we're in denial. I think one thing that's kind of hurt is that Donald Trump's out of office, and when Donald Trump was in office, there was a big incentive to make things sound as bad as possible all the time, just awful. It's like, hey, it went up 1%. Oh, everyone's gonna die. Donald Trump, what are you doing? Donald Trump, you're just fucking this up. And like Biden's not down there just doddering and sundowning and uh just throwing away his whole plan that he ran on, and just like effing up left and right, can't get anything passed, and everyone's like, oh, don't pay attention, it's fine. Like, Omicron and COVID's going back up. I'm not caping for Donald Trump. I could care less about the dude. The dude's a fascist and a racist and whatever. But it just is funny. Like, if he was in office right now, they would say he invented Omicron. They would say he made it in the lab himself. So but I think the flip side of that is, I think this stuff's gonna um grow faster because the media, as panicked as it is not gonna really scare people the way they would if Trump was in office. So a lot of people are just kind of, whatever. I think a lot of people, because they want Biden to be better, are just gonna, act like things are better than. Yeah, these midterms are gonna be. Yo, does the weighted blanket work? It's so funny you said this, man. I was in TJ Maxx over the weekend, and I saw a weighted blanket, and I'm like, because I fall for gimmicks all the time, so I thought, should I get that? But the weighted blanket does it for you? I might try that. Yeah, I think that the death rate though will have to be way higher than it would have to be under Trump. Like, it would have to be freaking like genocide genocidal for the people to get really. I'm exaggerating, but yeah, I think they're really really. They're also starting to do some travel bans. Like, I think Canada is just announced some kind of travel ban. I don't know the full details, but it's quietly happening. But they're not trumpeting it the way I feel. But maybe the media has COVID fatigue too. So I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Maybe the media has. Yeah. So people talking about sleep. What I've been doing is melatonin. I take the melatonin, and then it's hard to stay up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just end up falling asleep against my will. So that's been that's been good. But I'm gonna f with this. I'm gonna f with this weighted blanket thing. Hopefully TJ Maxx still has it, because that's a madhouse. People shop at TJ Maxx are animals. That TJ Maxx crowd, man, they do not let anything stand long. There was like about 10 weighted blankets. They're probably gonna be. Yeah, it doesn't really work for me, man. Like, cannabis is like Russian roulette, man. Like, picture like a gun that holds like 6 chambers, and you know, I might spin that. I might spin the chamber and get the sleep chamber, but there's always that one crazy psychedelic my bed's gonna eat me chamber. Like, I don't want to get that anxiety bullet. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people I know, they smoke, they don't get any anxiety, whatever. It's not their thing, but yeah, yeah, it's like Russian roulette for me. When it comes to sleep, I do not really like weed like that for that reason. I mean, bless you if they do. I'm trying to read this, but I'm like Getting it. I listen to 538 podcasts and they analyze the media's hard on. Oh, you're saying you don't agree with them? Yeah, I don't agree with them. If Trump was behaving anything like Biden, like all the sundowning and walking to podiums or whatever that dude does, oh my God, you would not hear from it at all. They softball him so much. It's crazy. It's funny. The media never claimed that their coverage was causing Donald Trump's bad poll numbers. They always said that the bad poll numbers were leading them to do bad coverage, but now with Biden, they're blaming. The media likes to act like they're fake hard on people. It's funny. Like whatever, doesn't matter. Instead, I'm gonna spend some time promoting some stuff. Yeah, I want y'all to do me a favor because something I find interesting is we have our podcast set up a certain way where it's usually an episode broken up across two episodes, right? And the way it's broken up, the first half is free, the second half is paywalled. Now, what I find interesting is we have a lot of people who listen to the free, but don't listen to the second half. And I'm just wondering, like, what makes y'all come back for the free half each week? But then just be like, yo, I got my fix. I just needed that first half. Like, is financials that hard? That you want to get it, but you can't. But you like the show enough, where it's like I'll just listen to that first free half, and one day I'll go back. Like one dude told me, I thought this was crazy. I can't see how he did it, but he just listened to the free halves for like 2 years or something, and then he finally broke down and got the Patreon subscription. Then he went back and listened to all the second halves. I'm like, that's crazy. How do you do that? You just had to remember what was going on the first time. You just re-listen to the whole episode, including the first half that you already heard. And that's not realizing there's different strokes to all folks, and that maybe it's a little bit of miscalculation I had because I'm thinking about how I would consume it. I wouldn't do that, but apparently a lot of people could do that. So I want to ask this: if people can hit us up at this email address, it says PayPal, and if you want to PayPal us at this email address, that's fine too. But that's actually not what I'm actively asking for this time. If you're somebody who listens to the show and is a fan, but something is keeping you from becoming a patron, email us at champagnesharks@gmail.com. I'm going to announce this for a couple of streams and a couple of places. I'm going to announce it on the pod too, on the free half, so that the people actually listening to the free half who don't get the second half will do this. But email us at champagnesharks@gmail.com. And if it's financial reasons, you can tell us that too. But I'm kind of curious for the people who it's not financial reasons, but there's something that just doesn't give you the urgency to get the Patreon subscription at $5 a month or 50 something dollars a year because you get a 10% discount. Uh, you know, what perks could we offer that would uh push you over the edge? Because we're trying to think of different perk ideas like, hey, if we hit this amount of subscriptions, we'll add this perk. People have tiers or different things, or they add new perks as they go. And I want to know what would push you over the edge if you're kind of on the fence, but you don't feel the urgency to do it. Like and then if a particular answer gets given enough times, then maybe we'll do that perk and we'll add that perk. Because yeah, I'm just kind of curious about that. Because it seems like for a lot of y'all, half an episode is enough. And that's fine. You're not obligated to do anything. I just want to know how we can improve that conversion. Cool. Yeah, maybe this is it. Yeah, we do jump around from topic to topic, so maybe people feel like, oh, someone said this is exactly what I did. That was interesting. I feel weird paying for podcasts. Okay, well then you could think of it as not paying for the podcast. If we add an extra perk, then you can tell yourself you paid for the perk, and the podcast was just a bonus. And you can lie to yourself and say that you didn't pay for the podcast. So, I mean, I'm willing to help you out with whatever mental gymnastics you need to do. The Champagne Sharks listeners are cheapskates. I mean, maybe a lot of them are. I don't know, but maybe they have another reason. Maybe they feel like we're not bringing enough value. I don't know. See, this is what I thought. I thought they were ending on really good cliffhangers, but yeah, I guess not. Um, yeah, let's see. I don't blame you. There's a lot of content out there. I mean, I haven't listened to a podcast in a while because I've been trying to declutter and stuff. So during the pandemic, I took a break from podcasts, except for like one or two. But even then, not really. And I've just been listening to Audible books. I don't know. Something with the pandemic, I sat down, I realized because I wasn't going into an office every day and then coming home and eating and podcasting and sleeping, I just started realizing, damn, I have a lot of books. I have a lot of au- Audible books, physical books. So I just told myself, and the only thing I would do for entertainment or edutainment would be I would listen to podcasts. So I took a break from podcasts just so I could declutter my collection. But yeah, gosh, this is appreciative. I mean, this is appreciated. Yeah, I mean, if y'all wanna, if someone said stop, someone said stop buying Jordans and get a CS subscription. That's funny. We have a funny ass chat. Yeah, but yeah. So email us at champagnesharks@gmail.com and just let us know like what your particular, and maybe you don't have it. Maybe nothing will make you pay for the Patreon subscription. But yeah, I mean that's fine. That's fine too. It is what it is. But if you're one of those people, don't email me just to say that you'll never pay for it. Like, just don't do it because people are weird, man. You gotta tell people a lot of explicit things. One thing I learned from podcasting and having to interact with so many people parasocially is I never realized how many things you have to tell people that you never thought in a million years you have to tell people. Like, there's a lot of things you have to tell people that is like, yeah, that's not what normal people do in social interactions. I don't know. I have no idea why that is, but I've gained the habit of, you know, over explaining things to people. You know what I'm saying? Oh, thanks for the donations. I noticed there were donations. I usually try to shout. Oh, let's see. Thanks, Jinkazi, for a donation. Thanks, Mean Boy, for a donation. Both of them gave $10. I appreciate it. Yeah, but just yeah, we want to make sure that we're growing and improving, but something else is gonna happen. And I always wonder, is this gonna dilute things because we'll be too many places that, but the call-in app, we might be signing something with the call-in app where we have to do a regular call-in show, you know. Uh and then for people who don't know, call-in is only available on iOS now. We're gonna do a regular Wednesday show on the YouTube live stream. And this is what I mean by spreading ourselves thin. We're gonna be doing an exclusive show on the new app, Rumble. Hey, thanks, I Sound Info. Appreciate it. Much appreciated. Uh, and let me give you the address of the Rumble. Because the way I'm thinking about things, right, is like this show ends up being a lot of work. So part of me kind of thinks if it doesn't get lucrative enough, like it makes enough money to make me want to keep doing it, but if it doesn't get like lucrative enough, I got to figure out a way to make the show less work or find a way to figure out what people do want to pay for and make the work worth it. You know what I'm saying? Because going to the gym and getting sleep and everything, I'm like, yo, sleep is not bad. Like I actually kind of like getting this sleep and doing all this stuff. So it's like, do I even want to keep getting like 4 or 5 hours sleep? And I mean, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But for now, we're spreading ourselves in a bunch of different places. So this is Rumble. Rumble is the place where we're going to be doing exclusive live streams that we don't do on YouTube. So even if you're a subscriber on YouTube or Twitch, you should consider joining and subscribing on Rumble. And we haven't figured out exactly the pattern for it. I think we might simulcast the call-in show over at Rumble only. So, for example, this is how it would work. And let me know what you guys let me know what you think, right? Because I appreciate your input. But how it's going to be, and we've tried it out for the past 2 weeks, what it would be is we have the call-in show on call-in. But the thing with call-in is only iOS people could use it. So we don't want half the fans to be stuck having to miss the call-in show. So what will happen is people with iOS, if you want iOS being the Apple operating system, that means iPhones, iPads, whatever. Y'all can go in the call-in app and interact, talk to us, do whatever, and it'll be a good time. But if you have a Android or a Motorola or whatever, and you can't join the call-in app, then you can watch on Rumble in real time and type in the chat and do whatever, and we'll try to answer your questions in the chat. And at the very least, you'll be able to watch the conversation. It'll be like listening to call-in radio rather than calling into call-in radio. Because yeah, call-in is an app that's basically like call-in radio. And Q/Andre Dominguez is on there. The whole Drop Squad crew. Brianna Joy Gray has a show on there, and a lot of cool people. Leslie Lee has a show on there called The Culture. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's kind of like Clubhouse, but more organized and sane. And yeah, so you'll want to subscribe to Rumble. Head over there, make an account, subscribe to Champagne Sharks. So that's gonna be two places where we're gonna be. Now, we're probably gonna be contracted to call in. And with that contract, we'll be probably doing about 3 or 4 call-in shows a week. This is what I'm saying about I'm gonna have to figure out the financials of this thing because it's kind of growing and popular enough that uh, there's offers to expand it, but I don't want to colonize my life if it's going to, not financially be worth it. It ends up being like a drain, if anything. So yeah, there's gonna be like a lot of changes, but that's basically 2 other places. And again, I'm worried about if we expand, does that end up like self cannibalizing? We'll see. But so again, call an app. If you have an iOS system, if you have an iPad, if you have an iPhone, it doesn't work on MacBooks. It doesn't work on desktops. It has to be on the iOS system. Go to the App Store. Do it now, even because you can do it while you listen. Go to the App Store. Sign up for Callin. Search for Champagne Sharks, and also search for all the friends of the show and subscribe. If you are able to, go to Rumble. If you're in front of a desktop or any computer, go to Rumble and subscribe to us there because we're going to be doing exclusive content there and probably including stuff that's not the Callin app because we're going to be contracting with them as well. So we're going to have a actual requirement to do regular exclusive content there. We're joining Rumble under the Black Power Media umbrella. That's Jared Ball's operation. And for y'all who don't follow Black Power Media on YouTube, you definitely should. Jared Ball's been a guest of the show. It's good people, smart people, really knowledgeable, knows everything about everything regarding Black history. And if he doesn't know it, then he knows the best person to ask about it, and he'll have them on. And he has a whole team. So yeah, Champion Sharks, we're gonna be kind of under their team over at Rumble. So yeah, check out those two places. But the heart of everything for me, the center of the universe, is always going to be the podcast. That's what I have the most fun doing. That's the where we can get the deepest on topics. That's the where we can really, dig into stuff. And that's always going to be. So I think no matter what happens, that would always be the last to go. But that's the one that I think is probably having the least return in terms of time, as far as you know being worth it and everything, and getting these student loans paid off. So yeah, the irony is the thing that I like to do the most is probably the thing that pays least per hour that I put into it, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's why I want to enlist your help with this. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what this means, but by all means, please explain it. And also, if it's too long to explain in the chat, feel free to actually you're in the Discord, so you can just tell me in the Discord, Jinkazi, if you want to um expand on what that expand for what that means. Yeah, so I mean, maybe. I mean, well, this is the yeah, maybe that's in place too. We know I've been thinking, and oh, thanks a lot, B Scott, for a donation. Appreciate it. Um, did Trump's media company acquire Rumble? Because I thought it was something else that happened over there. Uh, yeah, thanks, Susie. Yo, Susie, yo, have you ever been on the Discord when you were a patron? Are you a patron now? The Discord, I think, is a really cool perk, but I feel like not enough people. I don't know. I feel like Twitter's like a waste of time ad buy. I feel like if I was gonna do an ad buy, it's probably really expensive. But I mean, as a Twitter user and people and someone who knows a lot of Twitter users, I feel like people just don't click on Twitter ads. I just don't think it happens. I think that promoted thing is almost corny to most Twitter users. Any Twitter users in the chat could tell me. I feel like I'd rather find like a podcast with a big base, like a NPR podcast or something, or a Vox or a Slate podcast that uh, people just listen to because they don't know how to find deep cut podcasts. And if I was to crowdfund, I think I'd try to get on something like that. I feel like, from my personal experience, I've been more likely to try things from hearing it on a commercial break on a podcast or a radio show than seeing, like on Twitter, I'm trying to find out who the character of the day is. I'm in the middle of an argument, and then the ad just seems like it's something to swipe out of the way so I can get back to whatever time wasting nonsense. I just feel like Twitter just too toxic and everything, and yeah. But what's the next thing? So yeah, I mean, subscribe to those things. We're going to be contracted with Callin, so we're going to have some actual obligations to produce content there, and we're also going to be contracted with Rumble, and we're doing exclusive content with the Black Power Media guy. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting stuff. But again, back to what I said. Hit us at, I'll put the email up one more time. Hit us at champagnesharks@gmail.com. I'm going to be spending a lot of time just rethinking the whole structure of the show and frequency of things, the perks that we offer, if we should have tiers. That's another thing. If you want tiers, if there's something that you like, Like for example, I was thinking of creating a $10 newsletter tier, and anybody who already had um a $10 subscription will automatically get the newsletter anyway. But you know, but any idea, even if you think it's stupid, just email us at champagnesharks@gmail.com and just let us know what is keeping you from pulling the trigger. Or if you already pulled the trigger, what's the kind of thing that you want us to do? Yeah. And I think that's basically it. I'm at the 30-minute mark. It's actually 10 minutes longer than I planned, but it was fun talking with y'all tonight. Yeah. RIP bell hooks. Yeah, this is kind of, oh yeah, we're still gonna be on YouTube. We're still gonna be on Twitch. Yeah, I think this is a great space. I'll always love YouTube and Twitch, so we're still gonna be on here, but we're gonna have exclusive stuff on Rumble. So the stuff here, I think the stuff here might also stream on Rumble, but like I don't think any of the YouTube, and once we get everything running and figured out, I don't think anything on YouTube will be exclusive, but there will be exclusive stuff on Rumble. So if you go to Rumble and subscribe there, then you'll be able to follow all the streams. If that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, the whole drop culture thing is a good idea. That's definitely something cool. But as far as this advice goes, I think this is good advice, but like what I would like, this is what I want to do, right? Best place to place ads or ads in other similar pods. I totally agree, but I have trouble thinking of other similar pods because most of the pods I know that are similar to pod Champagne Sharks are places that usually invite us on already. You know what I'm saying? Like my dream idea to advertise on something would be something that's the size of like a mid-range national podcast, like a Vox or a Slate or one of those type of size, you know, or even bigger. Like imagine like a Breakfast Club or one of those type of things, but with our sensibility and nothing that is that big has our sensibility. It's always like brunch black stuff, you know, or gossip, like hip hop gossip, stuff like that, or like Joe Budden stuff, which is, no disrespect to Joe Budden, I think he's a talented, funny guy, but yeah, there's nothing. So the other option would be just try to find a bunch of small things like us that add up to one big ad buy, but again, most of the small things like us, I feel like kind of already fuck with us, and we already maximize everybody in those spaces. So yeah, in general, I think social media, I've outgrown. Like for example, I don't think there's any point to me tweeting like there used to be. Like now I just do it because it's a bad habit, not because it's a great return on investment of time. You know what I mean? An agent is funny because to get an agent, you have to get popular first. They get considered for an agent. You have to have a certain baseline of popularity. Then you get an agent. Then the agent pushes you to the next level. So it's not very easy to get an agent. It's kind of like the I need experience to get a job, but I need a job to get experience conundrum that you kind of have to break when you're trying to start your career. Yeah, so I mean, this is a good idea too. I know enough people in media, so I got to be Jeremy or Harris shameless, where you just like guess people to create like fake important profiles, or like how that profile in the New York Times section about how he's bringing people together in the pandemic by getting them to see his Zola movie. Like I always find like that type of fake glad handing, quid pro quo type of media stuff, like distasteful, creating like a fake important story around yourself. But maybe it's what has to be done. It works, you know. Yeah, but we'll see. I'm open to your ideas. Like I said, I'm not. A lot of y'all people are smart and think of things that I never think of. So yeah, go to champagnesharks at gmail.com. You can either give us ideas about what would make you subscribe if you don't subscribe, especially if you're someone who already listens, and also just give us ideas about how you think we should promote the show and what your ideas are. And if it's not about getting you to sign up because you already signed up, we welcome any ideas. And as more things change with the show, we'll let you know. But yeah, so for right now, there's going to be an exclusive Rumble channel, like I said. And then there's going to be the call-in show. The call-in show is a solo show. The call-in show on call-in is going to be called, well, it is called Media Masochist. And what we basically do on that one is we um, take a risk on different shows or books or, different things. And we'll suffer through, like a lot of things you think that, is it going to be good or is it going to be bad? I don't really want to find out. Like, that's going to be where we're going to fall on the bullet for you. Or we talk about like social media discourse. So the media massacres could refer to social media, where you talk about uh, something that was trending or was, going on social media and what it means for, what the takeaway from it is. And we take people's phone calls. It's going to be super interactive, the call in show. So, yeah, that's basically that. Champagnesharks at gmail.com. Let us know different tiers that you want to see in the Patreon if you're already a subscriber. Let us know about perks you want to see if you're not a subscriber, but you're on the verge of doing it. If there's just enough butter on the biscuit to get you to take a bite, etc., etc. All right. And that's basically it. Thanks, y'all. Hey, Hirotu, you got here too late. Just finishing up. Ooh, this is a good question, but I don't know. I'm not qualified. I'm not qualified to say. I don't want to answer just to answer. So yeah, I'm not qualified to say, to be honest. I'm still kind of learning about a lot of this stuff myself. No, I didn't see this, but please tag me about it on the Discord. I would love to hear more about it. All right, everybody, be good. I don't know what earn your leisure is. Is that something I should know about? I mean, if so, email me. Like, I appreciate a lot of y'all are giving me advice here, but it's gonna be hard to review all this stuff here. I'd rather you guys just email it to me or send it to me on the Discord or DM me on Twitter if you want to. But I'm trying to spend less time on Twitter. I'm trying to migrate all my Twitter DM conversations off the app because I really want to use it less and less. All right, but everybody, be good. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Y'all are some real ones. All right, be good.